Good morning, students. In today's class, we will start with a new chapter, that is biomolecules. Students who have that biology as the subject, major subject, they might have known that what about the importance of these molecules. Bio is nothing but it is a life, living organism. In living organisms, what are the important molecules? That is nothing but biomolecules. Okay, maximum whatever the things we are going to discuss, these are all related to our living organisms, the molecules which play important role in our living organisms. Okay, under the biomolecules, various categories we have, like carbohydrates, vitamins, proteins, nucleic acids, like that various categories we have. Okay, in today's class, under this concept biomolecules, we will start with first one, that is carbohydrates. What is our first subtopic under these biomolecules? That is carbohydrates. Coming to these carbohydrates, starting with the definition heading. Okay, in olden days, scientists they thought that these molecules are in the general formula CnH2n, CnH2n. How many carbon atoms are there? That many water molecules present in the total compound. In olden days, in ancient time, okay, scientists they thought that these molecules, the molecules which contain this type of formula, CnH2n, okay, in this formula, carbo, H2O, hydrate. Hydration means supply of water, correct? Like that, hydrate means presence of water. Carbon, carbohydrate. Both are combined and they give the name it as carbohydrate. Okay, but while days are going on, okay, the compounds which will not follow this general formula. Actually, this is general formula. In ancient times, scientists they thought that this is the general formula of carbohydrate. But while days were going on, they discovered new molecules which are coming under carbohydrates only, but they will not follow this type of formula. For example, rhamnose. Rhamnose formula C6H12O5. C6H12O5. How many carbons are there? 6 carbons are there. H2O whole. Here we cannot write one general number. 6 we cannot write here because oxygen atoms are not 6. Only 5 are there. But this is a carbohydrate. Rhamnose is a carbohydrate. By using different methods means it is following the properties of carbohydrates, but it is not following this general formula. What is the general formula? In olden days they thought carbon 6Cn H2O n. Like that they thought. But here rhamnose is coming under carbohydrate only, but it is not following the general formula CnH2n. Okay, that's why they changed the definition. Okay, even another example is there. Acetic acid. Acetic acid general formula we know, CH3COOH. Okay, writing carbons at a time, it will become C2H4O2, C2H4O2, C2H2O twice, C2H2O twice. Acetic acid is following the general formula like CnH2n, like a carbohydrate, but it is not a carbohydrate. Acetic acid is not a carbohydrate. Rhamnose is a carbohydrate, but it is not following the general formula. Acetic acid is not a carbohydrate, but it is following the general formula. That's why if any definition is defined, definitely it should be applied to all the molecules, correct? If any exceptions are there, the definition is going to be changed. That is only happened here. In olden days, so many carbohydrates are not discovered. Okay, what are the carbohydrates we have? Those carbohydrates, they might have followed this general formula CnH2ON. But while days are going on, a new carbohydrates are going to be discovered, and those new carbohydrates after the discovery, some carbohydrates might be carbohydrates, but they are not following this general formula. Okay, so in olden days, what is the definition they followed? Okay, we have to rule out that one, and we have to define a new definition. Now we will go through what is the definition of carbohydrate first. Okay, ma? Till now, what is the thing which is completed? Is it clear? Okay, carbohydrates. In olden days, they thought that carbohydrate is the term obtained that compound contains carbon H2ON. It is like a general formula of carbohydrate. From that CN carbon, carbo, H2O means water, hydrate. Okay, both terms they joined and they kept the heading as carbohydrate. But while days were going on, new compounds of carbohydrates are discovered in which they are not going to follow this type of general formula. But at the same time, some other compounds which will follow this type of general formula, but they are not coming under carbohydrates. That's why a new definition must be given to the carbohydrate. That new definition we are going to see now. Okay, ma? Shall I rub that one? Now, carbohydrate definition. The compound or simply carbohydrate is the compound which is polyhydroxy, derivative of or polyhydroxy compound of aldehydes or ketones. Just 1 second, ma. One small term must be introduced. Optically active. Start with optically active. Carbohydrates are the compounds which are optically active polyhydroxy compound of aldehydes or ketones. Okay, are the compounds which will give such compounds on hydrolysis. Okay, first the definition is like this. I will explain, no problem. First observe, just we will split the terms and we will understand. Okay, optically active. What is meant by optically active? In haloalkanes and haloarenes, we have seen stereochemistry. Okay, under the stereochemistry, two types are there: geometrical isomerism and optical isomerism. Okay, under that optical isomerism, we have seen the term optically active. This optical active is nothing but that compound has the capability to turn plain polarized light towards right side or left side. That means these carbohydrates are all optically active compounds. First term, that is optically active. Okay, all carbohydrates are optically active. Meaning of that one, whether they will turn light towards right side or left side. Which light? That is plain polarized light. Okay, ma? Polarized light. Polarized light can be turned by the carbohydrate whether towards left side or right side. That is optical active. Okay, keep aside. Next, polyhydroxy. What is meant by hydroxy? Hydroxy means OH group. Okay. But if they are present as principal function group, that is called alcohol. If OH group is present as principal function group, that is called alcohol. Okay. But here, why did we mention that polyhydroxy? Why we are taking it as hydroxy? Because they are present along with aldehydes or ketones. Not only OH group, ma. In the carbohydrate, not only OH group, we have aldehydes or ketones also. If aldehydes or ketones are present, they are behaving as principal function groups. If aldehydes or ketones are present, they are behaving as principal function groups. Then OH group is called hydroxy. That is also poly. Poly means so many hydroxy groups. So many hydroxy, more than two. More than two OH groups. More than two OH groups. More than two OH groups will be present in the given compound. Okay, more than two OH groups will be present in the given compound, in the carbohydrate. That is the meaning of polyhydroxy. Compound of aldehydes or ketones. Means along with that OH groups, aldehydes or ketones must be there. Definitely aldehyde group or ketone group. Along with that aldehyde or ketone, so many OH groups are present in that compound and the total compound is optically active. Or the compounds which will give such compounds on hydrolysis. The compounds which will give such compounds on hydrolysis means, let us consider one compound X. Let us consider one compound X. X on hydrolysis. X on hydrolysis will give two compounds A and B. X on hydrolysis will give two compounds A and B. These two compounds A and B are following this one. These are optically active polyhydroxy compound of aldehydes or ketones. Which are those? A and B. These two are obtained by the hydrolysis of X. Then X is also carbohydrate. The compound which is polyhydroxy derivative or polyhydroxy compound of aldehyde or ketone are called carbohydrates, optically active. These two are optically active polyhydroxy compounds of aldehydes or ketones. These are all carbohydrates. Or the compounds which will give hydrolysis on such type of compounds, those compounds are also called carbohydrates. For example, sucrose will undergo hydrolysis. Sucrose will undergo hydrolysis. You know this reaction very well. It will form C6H12O6 plus C6H12O6. Glucose plus fructose. Sucrose on hydrolysis, it will give glucose and fructose. Here, glucose and fructose are optically active polyhydroxy compound of aldehydes or ketones. These are carbohydrates. Or sucrose is the compound on hydrolysis, it gave carbohydrates. Then sucrose is also carbohydrate. Or see, the compounds which will give such type of compounds. Such type of compounds means, what are those such type of compounds? Those are optically active polyhydroxy compounds. Those are obtained by the hydrolysis of which type of compound? That is also coming under carbohydrate only. Okay, ma? This is example. Sucrose is carbohydrate. Glucose and fructose are also carbohydrate. In a simple way, the compound which on hydrolysis will give carbohydrates. That compound is also carbohydrate. The compound which on hydrolysis will give carbohydrates. That compound is also coming under carbohydrate. Sucrose is coming under carbohydrate. Maltose. Like that, so many examples. While we are discussing about carbohydrates, we will come to know. No problem at all. Is it okay, ma? This is about introduction part and definition. What is the definition of carbohydrate? That is very important. That is, carbohydrates are the compounds which are optically active polyhydroxy compound of. That means these are all optically active, contain so many OH groups, polyhydroxy compound of aldehydes or ketones, or the compounds which will give such compounds on hydrolysis. These type of compounds are obtained by particular compounds on hydrolysis. Those compounds are also called as carbohydrates. Example, sucrose. Sucrose will give two carbohydrates, glucose and fructose, on hydrolysis. Then sucrose is also coming under carbohydrate. Okay, write the definition carefully, ma. Keep the side heading under carbohydrates definition. This is recent definition, ma. Nowadays we are following this definition only. Okay, optically active polyhydroxy compound of aldehydes or ketones, or the compounds which will give such compounds on hydrolysis are all called carbohydrates. Okay, this is about definition. Now we have to see what about the classification of these carbohydrates. Shall we go through, ma? Okay, this is like introduction part and definition. Now we will go through what about the classification of carbohydrates. So we are continuing with classification. Under this classification, this is depending on the compound will undergo hydrolysis to form how many carbohydrates? This classification, actually only one classification is there under biomolecules, carbohydrates. This classification is depending on the compound will undergo hydrolysis to form how many carbohydrates. Actually, the compound which on hydrolysis, if it gives carbohydrates, or naturally it is optically active polyhydroxy compounds of aldehydes or ketones, that is also coming under carbohydrate. Or the compound which on hydrolysis, it will give carbohydrates, that is also coming under carbohydrate. Correct, no? So depending on that hydrolysis process, simply we can tell, depending on the hydrolysis process, carbohydrates are classified into three types. Depending on hydrolysis process, carbohydrates are classified into three types. That is only I wrote. Okay, those three types now we will see. First type, monosaccharides. Second one, oligosaccharides. Third one, polysaccharides. These are the three types of carbohydrates classification depending on hydrolysis process. Okay, coming under monosaccharides. These monosaccharides will not give any further carbohydrates on hydrolysis. These monosaccharides, the carbohydrates which will not give further carbohydrates on hydrolysis. The carbohydrates which will not give further carbohydrates on hydrolysis. What is the meaning of this one? These carbohydrates are itself, those are polyhydroxy, optically active polyhydroxy compounds of aldehydes or ketones. But on hydrolysis they will not give any on hydrolysis they will not give any further carbohydrates. We can tell these monosaccharides are the simplest carbohydrates. These monosaccharides are the simplest carbohydrates. Okay. Now, what are the examples of these monosaccharides? Glucose, C6H12O6. Fructose, C6H12O6. These are examples for monosaccharides. These monosaccharides are naturally means those are optically active polyhydroxy compounds of aldehydes or ketones. But on hydrolysis, they will not be giving any further simpler carbohydrates. These are only simpler carbohydrates. So we can tell mono means single only, na? Okay. So these units are further undergoing hydrolysis, will not give any further carbohydrates. Okay, ma? These type of compounds, carbohydrates are called monosaccharides. Okay, next, second one. Oligosaccharides. Suppose let X be oligosaccharide. This X, when it will be oligosaccharide, if on hydrolysis, if X undergoes hydrolysis, it will give 2 to 10 carbohydrates. If X is the oligosaccharide, then that X must undergo hydrolysis to form 2 to 10 further carbohydrates. 2 to 10 further carbohydrates. Then these are all coming under oligosaccharides. These oligosaccharides can be further classified as disaccharide, trisaccharide, like that further classification, pentasaccharide, like that. Penta means it will give 5 units on hydrolysis. Disaccharide means it will give 2 units on hydrolysis. Okay ma? But 2 to 10 carbohydrates if it is able to give, then that compound is called oligosaccharide. Example, sucrose will undergo hydrolysis. Sucrose will undergo hydrolysis to produce glucose plus fructose. Sucrose will undergo hydrolysis to produce glucose plus fructose. Glucose, fructose, both are carbohydrates. Two units we are getting now. When sucrose is undergoing hydrolysis, it is forming 2 carbohydrates. Then sucrose is coming under oligosaccharide because it is giving 2 carbohydrates on hydrolysis. Okay. Particularly we can tell that is called disaccharide. That much no need. Simply we can tell oligosaccharide. This is about second one. First one monosaccharide. Further undergoing hydrolysis, they will not give any further carbohydrates. Next, second one oligosaccharides. Third one polysaccharides. Third one polysaccharide. If Y is the polysaccharide, then that Y on hydrolysis, it will give greater than 10 carbohydrates. Polysaccharide is the carbohydrate which on hydrolysis it will give greater than 10 carbohydrates. Okay, the type of this big compound is called polysaccharide. Example, starch. Starch on hydrolysis will give more than 10 carbohydrates. Cellulose. Cellulose is also example for polysaccharide. Okay, so monosaccharides example we have seen glucose, fructose. Next, oligosaccharides example we have seen sucrose, maltose. These are all coming under oligosaccharides. Next, polysaccharides examples, those are cellulose, starch. Okay, these are all structures we are going to study. No problem at all. Simple only, very simple. Okay ma? This is about classification of carbohydrates. Classification of carbohydrates are completed. Now we are going to study separately monosaccharides, side heading, next disaccharides, after that polysaccharides. Okay ma? Under monosaccharides, first side heading, that is glucose. Okay, before going to that one, now till now what are the things we have studied? Introduction regarding biomolecules we have seen. Introduction is these are the molecules present in living organisms. Okay, under biomolecules, various molecules we are going to study. Those molecules are stated as first one carbohydrate, next proteins, vitamins, nucleic acids, like that various things we are going to study. Okay, in today's class we started with first compound, that is carbohydrate. Carbohydrate definition we have seen. Okay, after that what about the classification of carbohydrate we have seen till now. Okay ma? Now we are going to see monosaccharides. What are the monosaccharides? The carbohydrate which on further hydrolysis, they will not give any further carbohydrates. Okay, those are itself polyhydroxy derivative, optically active polyhydroxy derivative of aldehyde or ketone. Okay, they will not give further hydrolysis products. Okay ma? That monosaccharides we are going to study now. Okay, so next side heading, monosaccharides. Okay, now just before going to glucose, small explanation देखिए regarding these monosaccharides. If monosaccharide has aldehyde group, then that is called aldose. Already we have seen definition. It should contain aldehyde or ketone. Optically active polyhydroxy derivative of aldehyde or ketone. If it contains, definitely aldehyde or ketone group must be there, correct? If it contains aldehyde, that is called aldose. If it contains ketone, that is called ketose. If monosaccharide has aldehyde group, that is called aldose. If monosaccharide has ketone group, that is called ketose. Okay, next. If that monosaccharide has 3 carbon atoms. Okay, if that monosaccharide has 3 carbon atoms, that is triose. Then I am going to form one tabular column. Let us see. Number of carbon atoms, aldehyde, ketone. These are all under monosaccharides only. Number of carbon atoms 3. Okay, and it contains aldehyde group, that is called aldotriose. How many carbon atoms na? 3 carbon atoms, and it contains which group? Aldehyde. That is aldehyde group is present, that's why it is aldo. 3 carbon atoms are the triose. If 3 carbon atoms compound carbohydrate monosaccharide contains ketone group, that is ketotriose. Ketotriose. Next, number of carbon atoms 4. If it contains aldehyde group, aldotetrose. If it contains ketone group, ketotetrose. Next, 5 carbon atoms, aldopentose. Here, ketopentose. 6 carbon atoms, aldohexose. Here, ketohexose. So depending on number of carbon atoms and depending on aldehyde group or ketone group present, like this we can name the monosaccharides. This is simple tabular column only, no problem at all. Now in that monosaccharides, two examples we are going to study. Those are glucose and fructose. Both molecular formulas C6H12O6 only. And what about the specialty of that glucose and fructose we are going to study now. Okay, so our heading started with monosaccharides. What are the names, different names of monosaccharides we have seen? This is general classification only. Okay, now we are going to study particularly separate compound that is called glucose under this monosaccharides. Okay, shall we go through that one? Now let us see. Glucose. Glucose is coming under monosaccharide. It is with molecular formula C6H12O6. Okay, now under this glucose, first one, preparation. How glucose is prepared? Okay, glucose is prepared by the hydrolysis of sucrose. Sucrose molecular formula C12H22O11 will undergo hydrolysis. You know already in organic chemistry we have seen two types of hydrolysis will be there. Acidic hydrolysis and basic hydrolysis, correct? Okay, here this is undergoing acidic hydrolysis. That is in the presence of dilute HCl or dilute H2SO4. Dilute HCl or dilute H2SO4. Sucrose will undergo, actually dilute HCl or dilute H2SO4, these are acting like a catalyst. Okay, H2 only, it is undergoing reaction. Sucrose will undergo hydrolysis in presence of dilute HCl or dilute H2SO4 to form C6H12O6 plus C6H12O6. This is glucose and this is fructose. Glucose is obtained in this way, first preparation. Under glucose, we are going to study preparation. How glucose is going to be prepared? Glucose is prepared by the hydrolysis of sucrose. Sucrose will undergo hydrolysis to form glucose and fructose. Both have same molecular formula. Glucose and fructose, they have same molecular formula, C6H12O6. But they are isomers, functional group isomers. One is contained by aldehyde group, fructose is contained by ketone group. That one, at the time we are going to study structures, you will come to know clearly, no problem at all. Okay, this is first preparation. Shall we go to the next preparation now? Starch will undergo hydrolysis in presence of dilute HCl or dilute H2SO4 at 335 Kelvin. It will give n molecules of glucose. It will give n molecules of glucose. Okay, starch can be written as C6H10O5N. C6H10O5N. This is starch. It will undergo hydrolysis with n molecules of H2O. N molecules of H2O. See, 2 hydrogens will be added to form 12 hydrogens. 1 oxygen is added to form O6. Totally C6H12O6 n molecules. Here n, totally it will become n molecules of glucose separately. This is totally one compound, like a polymer. Okay, starch is the polymer of glucose. In starch, the monomer is glucose only. That glucose will undergo condensation with another glucose, condensation with another glucose, like that it will form a large compound that is called starch. Okay, ma? This is about preparation of glucose. 2 preparations we have seen. First preparation is glucose is prepared by the hydrolysis of sucrose. Next, glucose is prepared by the hydrolysis of starch. As glucose is our carbohydrate, it is obtained from another compounds which are also called carbohydrates, because the starch is undergoing hydrolysis to produce again carbohydrates. Correct? The starch is also example for carbohydrate. That is about preparations of glucose. Okay, ma? This is coming under glucose preparations. Next we have to see how scientists they derived the structure of glucose. How scientists they derived the structure of glucose. Let us see that one. Follow the steps carefully. Okay, totally we have almost 6 steps we have. By using 6 steps, different hints we are getting. So by using that hints, we are going to obtain the final product of final structure of glucose. That is okay. Here the important point is reactions, individual reactions are very important. And from that point, what we are going to conclude, that one once after completion of the structure we will see, man. Okay, starting with the first step 1, Under structure of glucose, step 1. Molecular formula of glucose is C6H12O6. We know only molecular formula. What is the molecular formula of glucose? That is C6H12O6. Okay. That C6, totally 6 carbon atoms are there. Na? Those 6 carbon atoms are present like branches or straight chain, or first carbon atom, second, another branch, straight chain. Like that, we don't know what about the structure of glucose in that condition, old conditions. Okay. Now, step 2. Step 2, glucose reacts with HI, heating. Prolonged heating of glucose with HI. One more time. Prolonged heating of glucose with HI. We got N-hexane. One more time. Prolonged heating of glucose with HI. We got N-hexane. Okay. Here the process undergone is reduction. HI is like a reducing agent. Okay, ma. Weak reducing agent only. Glucose undergoes reaction with HI. We got N-hexane. Here, what is the point we have to conclude? This reaction is okay. Simple one only. Even I did not mention the structure. Why didn't I mention the structure? Because now we don't know the structure of glucose. Is it correct? Without knowing the glucose, we are going to obtain the structure. That is the meaning. Okay. Now, first point, step 2. Actually, step 1 is molecular formula. C6H12O6. That is okay. Step 2, glucose will undergo reaction with HI. That is nothing but prolonged heating of glucose with HI. We got N-hexane. What is the point we can conclude? N-hexane contains carbon atoms in a straight chain. No branches are there. Is it correct? No branches are there in N-hexane. N-hexane has no branches. Then the type of compound is obtained from the glucose. Then glucose also must not contain branches. Then in glucose, how many carbon atoms we have? 6 carbons. Those 6 carbons will be like a straight chain only. First I gave the skeleton. Okay, ma. Slowly we will arrange what about the different functional groups present, all these things. That one, main idea, first one, that is prolonged heating of glucose with HI. Prolonged heating of glucose with HI, we got N-hexane. What is the meaning of that one? N-hexane has straight chain carbons. Okay, that straight chain compound is obtained from glucose by reacting with HI. Then glucose also must contain 6 carbons in a straight chain. No branches are present in glucose. If branches are present, that is resembling in the compound obtained by the reaction of glucose with HI. Then which type of compound is obtained by the reaction of glucose with HI? We got N-hexane. N-hexane contains all the carbon atoms in a straight chain. Is it correct? Then all the carbon atoms present in a straight chain, that is obtained from carbohydrate glucose, which is also contained by carbons in a straight chain. So what is the conclusion from this first point? We got a conclusion that carbon atom present in glucose is also present in straight chain only. It does not contain any branch. That's why I wrote the basic structure, skeleton of glucose carbon atoms. It is in the straight chain. This is the first point. Very important. First, step 1. What is the step 1? Molecular formula of glucose is C6H12O6. Molecular formula of glucose is C6H12O6. That is simple only. Second step. Glucose on prolonged heating with HI, it forms N-hexane. Okay, N-hexane contains straight chain carbon atoms. Then glucose also must contain straight chain carbon atoms only. That is the basic skeleton of glucose. Remaining hydrogens and oxygens, how they are arranged, we will see by next reactions. Okay, ma? Now, this is step 2. Is it clear for you till now? Now, step 3. Glucose reacts with hydroxylamine. Glucose reacts with hydroxylamine. Formula NH2OH. Both amine group and hydroxyl group both are present. The OH group is hydroxyl group, amine group is NH2. That is NH2OH. Like that you can remember. Okay, ma? Now, glucose reacts with hydroxylamine. It forms oxime. Glucose reacts with hydroxylamine. It forms oxime. Next, under step 3 only, glucose reacts with hydrogen cyanide. Glucose reacts with hydrogen cyanide. We got cyanohydrin. Glucose reacts with HCN, hydrogen cyanide. We got cyanohydrin. These are okay. Even I will give the explanation by writing the structures also. But our intention is we have no structure of glucose. We don't know the structure of glucose. That's why simply I wrote glucose only. Okay, ma? Now it reacts with hydroxylamine. We got oxime. Oxime contains C double bond N OH. C double bond N OH. This is general formula of oxime. Remaining whatever it might be. C double bond NOH is coming under oxime. Next, cyanohydrin. Cyanohydrin COHCN. Remaining whatever it might be. COHCN. This is cyanohydrin. This is oxime. These two are characteristic reactions of carbonyl functional group. These two are characteristic reactions of carbonyl functional group. I am not telling that is aldehyde or ketone, because both aldehydes and ketones, they will undergo reaction with hydroxylamine and HCN to form oxime and cyanohydrin respectively. That's why I am not able to tell by seeing this one it is aldehyde or ketone. Please understand carefully. I am telling that this glucose contains carbonyl group C double bond O. Glucose contains carbonyl group C double bond O. That is only conclusion from step 3. Is it okay, ma? What is the conclusion I made from step 3? From step 3, I made a conclusion that is, okay, glucose reacts with hydroxylamine, we got oxime. Glucose reacts with HCN, we got cyanohydrin. These are the two characteristic reactions of carbonyl functional group. Means that might be aldehyde or ketone. Once if you want to know aldehydes, ketones and carboxylic acids, open that one. Nucleophilic addition reactions, examples we have seen. Under that, reaction with HCN, okay, that is first one. And under ammonia derivatives, we have seen this NH2OH. Hydroxylamine reacts with C double bond O, we got oxime. Next, C double bond O reacts with HCN, we got cyanohydrin. These are the two characteristic reactions of C double bond O. Okay, that C double bond O presence we are going to confirm with the help of step 3. Step 1, molecular formula. Step 2, straight chain, conclusion. Step 3, we got a confirmation that C double bond O is present. Okay, now in this structure, if you write C double bond O on first carbon atom or last carbon atom, that is aldehyde. Correct? C double bond O is present here or here, that is aldehyde. If C double bond O is present somewhere here, that is ketone. But by using this step 3, we cannot conclude that whether that is aldehyde or ketone. That's why I am not mentioning here. Till now I wrote this straight chain only. Okay, ma? By using this step 3, I cannot conclude that is aldehyde or ketone. But I can conclude C double bond O group presence in glucose by using these two reactions. under step 3. Okay, what are those two reactions? Glucose reacts with hydroxylamine, we got oxime. Glucose reacts with HCl, we got cyanohydrin. Okay, ma. We will continue this same structure derivation of glucose in next class. No problem. Once again, I will write this step 3 and I will continue. Okay, ma. By today's class, this is okay. Up to now, whatever the things I have completed, I hope you understood that one. Okay. If you have any doubts, no problem. You can reach me anytime. Okay, ma. Thank you. Thank you all.